And we've got meteorologist Chrissy Kohler here with us to take another look at our weather. It honestly, for us here in the upstate, shaped up to be a beautiful day, but we have been, of course, keeping an eye on our friends and families who have been devastated by a lot of this hurricane coverage that we've been tracking.
Yeah, and it's been very difficult, I think, for a lot of us to watch, especially because I know a lot of people up here own homes or vacation in a lot of those areas. I still own a home.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a home in Myrtle Beach area.
It's on the market. We've been trying to sell it, but we still own our home in Pawleys Island. So yeah, absolutely. It's been hard to watch. And I know that I'm not the only one, of course, a lot of you out there dealing with that devastation of these areas that we hold so near and dear to our hearts that were impacted by Ian yesterday along the coast. But we did up here across the upstate into North Carolina get fairly unscathed by this. This was a pretty minimal experience for us as far as tropical systems go, which is good news for us here. It is a post-tropical system up into Virginia right now, still bringing rain though to parts of the northern Appalachians. For us here though, things are nice and quiet, and it's going to stay that way as we head into the day tomorrow and really through the next week. We're headed into another dry spell for us. So we got a little bit of rain out of this, which was much needed. We've actually been in a little bit of a dry spell prior to the rain that we got yesterday. We got a little bit of rain for some areas. It was kind of feast or famine though. Some areas with upwards of 2 inches of rain, a lot of areas with not a whole lot at all. So we're headed into this next dry spell, which is not going to do us any favors in terms of our drought status across the area. In terms of our rain chances for tomorrow, just the smallest chance. We maybe see something isolated try to pop up along the North Carolina-Tennessee border as we head into tomorrow morning. But the latest runs of the models are really even more dry than they have been. Again, that would mainly be up around North Carolina, Tennessee. But it does look like a lot of this is going to stay just outside of our area. So most of us going to end up staying on the drier side. And even if you do see an isolated shower tomorrow, it's not enough to really put a damper on your day. Although I do think we're going to see a little more cloud cover up across those higher elevations and into North Carolina, whereas across the upstate and northeast Georgia, I think you're going to be a little more in the sunshine for tomorrow afternoon. Temperature wise, right now we're seeing those temperatures into the upper 40s to the mid 50s up across the upstate or up across North Carolina, excuse me. And then the upstate, we're finally starting to drop down into the 50s, where we've got 59 in Gaffney, down to Anderson, Lawrence, as well as Hartwell, 63 in Elberton right now, a little bit warmer for you there, and even 60 in Greenwood. But as we head into the overnight hours, we're going to drop down to the low 50s across the upstate overnight tonight with a mostly cloudy sky, or partly cloudy sky, excuse me. And then up into the mountains, it's going to be a little cooler for you. We're talking more of those mid to upper 40s for the overnight lows. A little more cloud cover, but also a slight chance that we could see some patchy fog into the mountains tomorrow morning. And occasionally we'll see the winds gusting up to around 20 miles per hour through the overnight hours. Now tomorrow's going to be a pretty nice day overall. I think even into those southern parts of the mountains, we're looking at a partly cloudy sky, temperatures climbing into the upper 50s to the low 60s, but that's going to be the big story for tomorrow, is that we've got a pretty big temperature divide. So we top out around 70 in Greer, down to Moore and Graycourt with 69 in Cowpens, as well as Gaffney. A partly cloudy sky there, 72 in 96, as well as up towards Liberty with 75 in Hartwell. But then you look up into North Carolina and we get an afternoon high closer to 55 in Spruce Pine, down to Waynesville, 59 in Weaverville, as well as Brevard, and then you get 66 into Bryson City and Forest City. So it's going to be a little bit cooler up into the mountains. And then we start this nice little warming trend as we head throughout the week. That 79 that you see on Thursday is a little more typical of this time of year, and those mid 70s up into North Carolina, that's more typical for your normal afternoon highs. Like I said, this is a dry spell for us again the next 7 days. A lot of sunshine there, those slightly warmer temperatures as we head throughout the week. Really not bad. Nice and comfortably warm into the afternoon. We get those cooler, crisper mornings. Of course, it feels a lot like fall now that we've headed into the first week of October.